Welcome to an exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins. Today we are exploring the incredible story of the 1965 Washington quarter, a coin that may look ordinary but could hide an extraordinary value. Minted during a historic transition by the United States Mint, this quarter without a mint mark has captured the attention of collectors around the world. Some rare examples and unusual mint errors have reached astonishing prices, proving that even a simple coin from the era of George Washington can hold the power to surprise collectors and possibly change someone's fortune overnight. Top 4 first up. The story of the 1965 Washington quarter begins in one of the most dramatic years in modern American coin history. In 1965, the United States Mint made a revolutionary change to the nation's coinage system. Rising silver prices forced the government to remove silver from circulating quarters and replace it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. During this transition, millions of new quarters were struck without mint marks, making the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark a fascinating piece of numismatic history. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin, but collectors know that hidden among these coins are rare variations and unusual strikes that can command astonishing prices. The design of the coin honors George Washington, whose portrait appears on the front. This design was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate Washington's 200th birthday and has remained one of the most recognizable images in American currency. On the reverse side, the powerful eagle with outstretched wings symbolizes strength, independence, and national pride. By 1965, this iconic design had already been circulating for decades, yet the historical changes happening at the time made the 1965 quarter particularly special. One of the most interesting facts about the 1965 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. Normally, coins produced in places like Denver or San Francisco carried small identifying letters. However, from 1965 to 1967, the mint removed mint marks entirely to discourage collectors from hoarding newly released coins. As a result, every standard 1965 quarter appears to have no mint mark, which adds an element of mystery and confusion for beginners. But experienced collectors know that certain rare varieties or unusual minting errors from this period can transform an ordinary-looking coin into a treasure. In circulated and worn condition, most 1965 quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents. However, the story becomes much more exciting when we talk about rare mint errors, unusual strikes, and coins preserved in extraordinary condition. Some examples struck with unusual characteristics, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or transitional metal errors, have captured the attention of serious collectors. These rare pieces can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and condition. Among the most legendary discoveries are 1965 quarters mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets from earlier years. Since the mint officially removed silver from quarters that year, any genuine silver 1965 quarter is considered an extraordinary mint error. If such a coin appears in high condition and is authenticated by experts, its value can rise dramatically. Stories of these rare pieces selling for massive sums continue to excite collectors and treasure hunters across the world. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value of a 1965 Washington quarter is its condition. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels, especially those showing perfect luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear, are incredibly rare because most quarters from that year entered heavy circulation. A flawless example preserved for decades can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to collectors who demand perfection. Sometimes even coins found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition can surprise collectors. A quarter that appears worn or discolored might still carry a hidden minting error or unusual metal composition. That is why experienced collectors often recommend never spending old coins without first examining them carefully. Even a coin that looks ordinary could contain a rare feature that dramatically increases its value. The excitement around the 1965 Washington quarter comes from the possibility of discovery. Many collectors believe that rare examples are still hiding in old coin jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers. Because millions were produced, it is still possible that undiscovered varieties exist. This sense of mystery and potential fortune is what keeps collectors searching through pocket change even today. In today's numismatic market, certain exceptional 1965 quarters have reached astonishing prices at auctions and private sales. When a coin combines rarity, unique minting characteristics, and exceptional preservation, collectors may compete fiercely to own it. The value of such coins can climb into the thousands or even far beyond, depending on the uniqueness of the piece and the demand among collectors. For someone who unknowingly owns a rare variety, the discovery can feel life-changing. Imagine finding an old quarter that most people would ignore, only to learn that it contains a rare error or transitional metal strike. That moment transforms a simple coin into a historical artifact with extraordinary value. Stories like these are what inspire new collectors to explore the fascinating world of rare coins. Collectors also value the historical importance of the 1965 quarter because it represents a turning point in American coinage. It marks the end of the traditional silver era and the beginning of modern clad coinage. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of economic history from a time when the nation was adapting to rising metal costs and changing financial realities. In the end, the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark is far more than just pocket change. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the thrilling possibility of hidden value. Whether found in pristine condition or covered in decades of circulation wear, this coin reminds us that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the greatest surprises. For collectors and treasure hunters alike, a simple quarter from 1965 might just be the coin that changes everything overnight. This was a time when the U.S. Mint made unusual decisions that still spark curiosity today, especially among those who dream of discovering a hidden fortune in their spare change. In 1967, the United States was dealing with a coin shortage, and to combat hoarding, the Mint made a surprising move. They removed mint marks from all coins produced between 1965 and 1967. That means every 1967 quarter appears to have no mint mark, which is actually normal for that year. However, this detail has created confusion and excitement, as many people believe they've found a rare error coin when they see a blank space where a mint mark usually appears. Despite being common in general circulation, certain 1967 quarters can become extremely valuable under the right conditions. The key factor is not just the missing mint mark, but the coin's overall condition, rarity of errors, and special striking characteristics. Coins that were preserved in near-perfect condition or were part of special mint sets tend to carry much higher value compared to worn everyday coins. Collectors pay special attention to coins with unusual features such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting errors. If a 1967 quarter shows signs of these rare mistakes, its value can increase dramatically. These types of errors are what transform an ordinary coin into something truly extraordinary, sometimes worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand and uniqueness. Another important factor is the coin's luster and surface quality. 1967 quarter that still shines with its original mint brilliance, showing minimal scratches or wear, can be considered a high-grade specimen. Coins graded at the top levels by professional grading services are rare and highly sought after, making them significantly more valuable than average circulated examples. It's also important to understand the composition of the 1967 quarter. Unlike earlier quarters made of silver, this coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad. This means it does not have intrinsic silver value, which is why its worth depends entirely on collectability rather than metal content. However, this doesn't stop rare examples from reaching impressive prices in the collector market. Many people dream of finding a coin worth millions overnight, but the reality is more nuanced. While it's extremely rare for a 1967 quarter to reach such astronomical values, there have been instances where error coins or exceptionally preserved pieces have sold for surprising amounts. These stories fuel the excitement and keep collectors searching through rolls of coins and old collections. If your 1967 quarter is in very dirty condition, it may actually reduce its value rather than increase it. Cleaning a coin is strongly discouraged because it can damage the surface and remove its natural patina, which collectors value. Even a dirty coin should be handled carefully and left in its original state until evaluated by an expert. Authentication plays a huge role in determining value. Many people mistakenly believe they have a rare coin, only to discover it's a common piece. Having the coin examined by a professional grading service can confirm whether it has any unique features or high-grade qualities that justify a higher price. The idea of becoming rich overnight from a single coin is fascinating, and while it's not impossible, it requires a combination of rarity, condition, and sometimes pure luck. Most 1967 quarters in circulation are worth only their face value, but the thrill lies in the possibility that one might be different from the rest. Collectors often say that knowledge is the real treasure. Understanding what makes a coin valuable gives you a significant advantage and prevents you from selling something rare for a low price. This is why it's important to research, compare, and seek expert opinions before making any decisions about selling a coin. In the end, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark is not automatically a fortune, but it represents an exciting opportunity. Hidden among millions of ordinary coins could be a rare variation waiting to be discovered. If you happen to own one, take a closer look. You might not become a billionaire overnight, but you could still be holding a small piece of history with surprising value. Next up, let's be real right from the start. If you're holding a 1994p Washington quarter, you might feel like you've struck hidden treasure. The excitement is understandable. Coins carry history, mystery, and sometimes serious value. But the truth behind this specific coin is more nuanced than the dream of overnight billions. Still, don't lose interest, because under the right conditions, even a common coin can turn into something collectors chase hard. The 1994 Washington quarter with a P mint mark was produced in Philadelphia, one of the main U.S. mint facilities. Millions upon millions of these coins were struck for everyday circulation. That means in normal condition, even slightly dirty or worn, this coin is usually only worth its face value of 25 cents. Yes, just a quarter. That might sound disappointing, but this is only the surface of the story. Now here, where things start to get interesting. Not all coins are created equal, even within the same year and mint mark. What truly separates a common coin from a valuable one is condition, rarity, and most importantly, errors. A 1994p quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and still shines like new, can be worth a few dollars to collectors. Not millions, but still significantly more than face value. However, the real hidden treasure lies in rare minting errors. If your 1994p quarter has something unusual, like a double strike, off-center design, missing clad layer, or die cracks, then its value can jump dramatically. Error coins are like accidents that turn into gold for collectors. These are the coins that people hunt for, and sometimes they can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how rare and visible the error is. Another factor that can increase value is something called grading. Professional grading companies examine coins and assign them a condition score. A 1994p quarter graded at a very high level, such as MS67 or higher, becomes much more desirable. These top-grade coins are rare because most coins get scratched or worn over time. A nearly perfect example is like finding a diamond in the rough. Now let's talk about the dirty condition you mentioned. Dirt and wear usually decrease a coin's value, not increase it. Collectors prefer coins that are clean but not cleaned artificially. Cleaning a coin yourself can actually damage it and reduce its worth. So if your coin looks dirty, it's better to leave it untouched rather than trying to polish it. There is a myth spreading online that certain modern quarters can make you a millionaire overnight. While it's true that some rare coins have sold for extremely high prices, those cases are incredibly rare and usually involve unique historical significance or extreme minting errors. A regular 1994p quarter, even in good condition, does not fall into that category, but don't stop checking your coins. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the possibility, the what if. What if your coin has a rare error that others missed? What if it's in exceptional condition? These small chances are what make coin hunting addictive and fun. And sometimes people do find valuable pieces hiding in plain sight. If you truly believe your coin might be special, the best step is to get it examined by a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service. They can tell you if it has any rare features that could increase its value. Guessing is exciting, but verification is where real value is confirmed. It's also important to understand that value depends on demand. A coin is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. Even rare coins need the right buyer at the right time. That's why auctions and collector markets play a huge role in determining actual prices. So, while the dream of becoming a billionaire overnight from a 1994p Washington quarter is not realistic, the journey of discovering what your coin truly is can still be exciting and rewarding. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth more than the coin itself. In the end, don't rush to spend it, but also don't assume it's a hidden fortune without proof. Treat it carefully, learn about it, and enjoy the process. Because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge is just as valuable as the rarest coin. Next up, the 1996p Washington quarter is a fascinating coin, but it's important to understand the reality behind the hype. Many people believe that ordinary coins from the 1990s can suddenly be worth millions, but in most cases that simply isn't true. However, that doesn't mean your coin has no value. Under the right conditions, certain versions of this quarter can still be surprisingly valuable to collectors. The P mint mark on your coin means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main facilities in the United States. In 1996, millions of these quarters were made for everyday circulation. Because of this high mintage, most 1996p quarters found in normal, worn condition are only worth their face value, 25 cents. Even if the coin looks old or dirty, that alone does not increase its price. Condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's worth. A very dirty condition coin, as you described, is usually considered circulated and worn. Collectors typically look for coins in clean, well-preserved, or mint-state condition. A dirty coin may actually lose appeal because it hides details and may indicate damage or environmental exposure. However, there are exceptions that can make a 1996 p quarter more valuable. If the coin has a rare minting error, such as double striking, off-center design, or unusual die cracks, its value can increase significantly. Error coins are always in demand because they are unique and stand out from regular issues. Another factor that can increase value is high-grade condition. If a 1996 p quarter was never used and still has its original shine, it could be graded as mint state by professional grading services. In top grades like MS65 or higher, these coins can sell for a few dollars up to maybe $20.50, depending on quality and demand. There is also something special about the year 1996 itself. That year marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime, and the US Mint released special sets. While this doesn't directly make the 1996 quarter rare, coins from official mint sets tend to be better preserved, and collectors sometimes seek them out in higher condition. Now let's address the biggest misconception: becoming a billionaire overnight from a 1996 p quarter. In reality, no standard 1996 quarter has ever sold for millions of dollars. Only extremely rare coins, like unique historical errors or coins with very limited mintage, reach such prices. Your coin would need an extraordinary and verified error to even come close to high-value territory. Still, your coin can have hidden potential. Sometimes collectors overlook coins that have subtle errors or unusual features. It's always a good idea to examine the coin under magnification. Look closely at the lettering, the date, and the image of George Washington for anything unusual or misaligned. If you truly believe your coin is special, getting it professionally evaluated is a smart move. Coin grading companies can authenticate and grade your coin, which can increase its value if it turns out to be rare. Without proper grading, even a valuable coin might not reach its full market price. It's also important not to clean your coin aggressively. Many beginners think cleaning a dirty coin will increase its value, but the opposite is true. Cleaning can scratch the surface and remove original texture, which collectors value highly. Keeping the coin in its natural state is usually the best choice. In the current market, most 1996 p Washington quarters are common, but collectors are always searching for something unusual. Even a small detail can turn an ordinary coin into a collectible piece. Patience and careful inspection are key when dealing with coins like this. In conclusion, while your 1996 p Washington quarter is unlikely to be worth millions, it still holds interest and potential depending on its condition and possible errors. It may not make you a billionaire overnight, but with the right features, it could still be worth more than face value. Treat it carefully, examine it closely, and if needed, get it checked, because sometimes the real treasure lies in the details. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more rare coin discoveries and valuable insights. Your support means everything and helps us bring more exciting content your way. Who knows, your next coin could be the one that changes everything, so keep checking your collection and stay connected.